Want to go up with that? I don't go. I can't send allowed to you.
Okay. So,
are you on?
Good morning.
Develop your skills as you are studying, so that the time you finish, maybe you'll be able to start up your own business, because you notice we graduate over 1,000 of students, but at the end of the day, most of them don't have jobs. Jobs is so scarce. So if you're able to come here and develop your idea into a business and be able to start that business, commercialize it, be able to make profit out of it, we believe that you too will be able to employ other students. So this place is for you. We open at 8 and close at 5. So anytime you are free to come in here with your ideas, we are always here in the office, Joyce and myself, and we'll always be ready to listen to you and see where we can come in and help. And sometimes when we've helped you, we have partners too, who investors and some partners who, if their business or their ideas align with what our students have, most times they are willing to chip in, to support, to mentor, or to provide financial help. So I'm glad that you're able to come here today, and I'm sure today too is a very educative program, so you'll be able to gather more knowledge. Thank you and welcome.
Excellent. Once again, can you please give our round of applause for Madam Wilson, please? So, this occasion event is not going to be as long or as lengthy as those other events. You're here today in order for you to be baptized with knowledge, and in turn, you ask questions that will be relevant to your needs. As the theme clearly stated that, harnessing voluntarism to combat frustrated. Most times we get malaria. So to get an individual, well, he's a very young person, by the way. If I tell you in age, I'll be surprised. But however, there is a very famous linguistic that he said you're never too young to teach, neither too old to learn. So in that regard, he is here today to ensure that he baptizes you with the required knowledge you need on this particular occasion. So let me be hasty to introduce him. He's an individual who is dedicated to serving humanity with a strong passion for community service. He's currently not only based in London, but he is a British born. He engages in various voluntary initiatives, demonstrating a deep commitment to make a positive impact in his community and now beyond his community. He is blend both academic focus and a lot of civic responsibility, reflecting on growing leadership potentials and sincere drive to contribute meaningfully to society. Colleague students, student society of this noble institution. At this point in time, I want you all to rise and give him the honor as I introduce our volunteer for today, who shall take the lead to speak to us passionately on this particular occasion. Adam Berkailiev. Please give him a round of applause. Kindly resume seats. Thank you. So after making this presentation, you'll be tasked to ask questions so that those skeptical thoughts you'll be having can be cleared. But however, if you fail to ask questions, in my capacity as the host, I'll ask you questions in order for you to ask me questions. So you should open it. Over to you, sir.
First off, I want to say thank you all for having me. It's an honor to be here. As has been very graciously described, I'm a volunteer for SAFME from the United Kingdom. And I'm just here to talk to you today about our initiative in SAFME in helping fight and cure malaria. So SAFME has started work in Sierra Leone recently over a period of less than a year ago. And our main aim here is to fight and combat malaria using means that have already been previously researched and previously proven. So in the future, we aim to expand to different countries, but so far we only operate in Sierra Leone. Malaria has been a severe blight on the whole world, and specifically in Africa, with Sierra Leone reporting 4 million cases in 2022 and 10,000 deaths. Similarly, in places like Liberia, with 2.6 million cases and 5,000 deaths. Another statistic from malaria that just proves how bad it is that every 30 seconds, one child dies due to malaria complications. So, on the chart here, on the screen, it shows exactly the amount of deaths and the amount of cases. And as you can see, malaria has had a severe impact and has really just been really destructive and had an intense effect on culture, society, and on many people's lives. So malaria, as you probably know, is transmitted by mosquitoes. And these mosquitoes can travel 9 kilometers in their lifespan, but the main problem with mosquitoes and the main problem with malaria is the breeding that happens between them. They breed very fast and they lay larvae very fast, and due to this, malaria is very difficult to cure. There have been methods and there have been medicines that help us fight malaria intensely. So one Gambusa fish, by the way, they're very small, so they're only from male about 4 centimeters to female about 7 centimeters in size. One Gambusa fish can eat up to 300 mosquito larvae in 5 minutes and 200 mosquitoes themselves. The main directive of SAFMI is using these Gambusa fish in small tanks to fight malaria. I think we have some in the back over there. And we basically put these fish into tanks and distribute them. And these fish aim to eat the larvae of the mosquitoes. So eventually, all the infected larvae will be eaten and consumed by these fish. And so there will be less spread and eventually no infection. So the Gambusa fish is, well, it seems small, so many have asked me before, how do we know that this works? Are we sure this will work? And all I have to say to you is that it's a proven method. Gambusa fish has been used since over 100 years ago. It was used in Russia, in the USSR in the 1950s, and since it was introduced, there have been 0 cases of malaria since 1956. It has also been introduced in many different countries, like Turkey, China, and in those countries, malaria has also been nearly completely defeated. So, before the introduction of Gambusa fish in places like the Soviet Union, there were thousands of deaths every year due to malaria, especially in areas such as Sochi, where there's damp conditions and so on. But due to the introduction of the Gambusa fish, those cases have been solved, and the whole plight of malaria has been fully removed from places like Russia and Turkey. The Gambusa fish has also been spread to many other countries, up to 60, as the presentation says, and is also native to many places in the US, which is why they managed to handle it better. So the main method of spreading, like I said earlier, is through the larvae, the mosquito leg, and the Gambusa fish, through their ability to eat so many of the larvae, essentially kill off the breeding process and mitigate the breeding process of mosquitoes. So the Gambusa fish thrive in damp environments, and mosquito larvae is usually laid in damp environments. So this unique mix with the fish's exact feeding grounds and the mosquito's laying grounds means that the Gambusa fish is perfectly acclimated to help eat and kill as many mosquito larvae, infected mosquito larvae as possible. So the benefits of the fish compared to other methods are extreme. Other methods have been used for decades now, and whilst they do work to an extent, the Gambusa fish, in our opinion, is a much more effective and much better method of helping to fight malaria. First off, the main impact is that it's much more cost effective. Like I said, the Gambusa fish is very small, it's very common, very breedable, and it requires very little maintenance with only small amounts of feed and small changes of water. So it is much cheaper and therefore much more accessible to everyone in the world. The Gambusa fish is also much more eco-friendly. So you've all definitely heard about chemical mosquito nets and pesticide and other methods using chemicals that aim to fight malaria. These methods have a severe long-term impact on the environment and can actually damage the air quality. The Gambusa fish is completely natural, so there is 0 of these complications when using them. So, like I said, maintenance for the Gambius fish is minimal. For each one of the tanks that are in the back, and you'll be able to see later, you only need to put 1 pinch of feed per day. So that's a very small amount, it's very cheap, and it's very easy to do. The only other maintenance part you need to do is changing 30% of the water once per week. So it's cost effective and it's very low maintenance, meaning the people who are busy will still be able to square away maybe 5 minutes a week to help deal with this. So through that method, it's much more effective than managing chemicals and nets and so on. The breeding of Gambiusa fish works very simply. You obviously have a female Gambiusa fish that then births the spawn, and what happens after that is it's removed from the same tank where it's being bred, and it's very quick, so the breeding cycle is very fast, and essentially that's another method, that's another part of why the Gambiusa fish is so beneficial, because of the fast breeding cycle, and because of the ideal environment and habitats that it breeds in. So, like it says up there, the Gambiusa fish mainly is native to rivers, lakes, and ponds. That's ideal for us and for fighting malaria, because mosquitoes tend to thrive in those areas. Mosquitoes usually lay eggs in small puddles, small ponds, or along river sources. And because the fish naturally spawn there and naturally feed there, it fights malaria even more effectively and naturally. So our main aim here is to only accelerate this natural process by having more people involved with it and be more active about it. So before I finish off, I just want to say a few words about volunteering. So I myself have come from the UK to volunteer, and I've already been trying to get my friends back home to also volunteer. I think SAPMI is a really worthwhile initiative, and SAPMI and through the Gambiusa fish, I think that there is a serious method and proven method, most importantly, of beating malaria. And the main thing about volunteering I want to talk to all of you about is to ask you to also volunteer. We have an office down at Lumley Beach where we hand out these tanks and try and further our initiatives, and it would really help if we had some educated individuals like yourselves coming down and helping to volunteer. We really have to help each other and put in as much time and effort as we can to try and fight malaria due to how much of an impact it has. Thank you.
So this is where I initially educated you about. So now you've heard him presented. I want to be sure you took some shots. There are the slides. I want to be sure you actually took some notes. So kindly ask questions. Knowledge for now is free, because subsequently you may have to pay to get the knowledge.
I think that round of applause is not enough. Can we give him another round of applause, please? What we have had today, this is the secret for everything. We have been spending our money in fighting against malaria every day. Some of our families, friends, they have died against what we call malaria. So today there is a solution. And that solution, you're not going to spend nothing. Everything is going to be free. So we're going to start with you guys. Some of you guys will take this home and you start to take care of the malaria thing. And those that needed it, that's why he said, you can volunteer. And when you volunteer, not that you're going to be free, volunteer. No, at the end of the month, we're going to provide some stipend for you. That's not a good news for you guys.
Very good news.
You can still be working there. You can still be at IBAM and you're working with SAFMI, you're providing service for SAFMI, and we are going to give you money for that. He came far away from where? The United Kingdom. And guess what? He's still what? A student. You are one level above him. Can you imagine it? You are one level above him. You still ask why? Half? Alright. Thank you. Thank you. One level. You are in your first year. And he is still trying to go up to the first year. You can imagine, But we flew to Sierra Leone to help fight malaria. So let's give him a big round of applause. They come from one of the best, one of the few, I think it's the second one.
One of the top eight.
The second best school in the world. Can somebody guess the name? Can somebody? Huh? Okay, can you tell them a bit about your school?
So I go to a boarding school in England called Harrow. It's 450 years old, so it's very, very, very old. It was founded by a charter of the very, very late Queen Elizabeth I. So back in the 1600s, thereabouts. And it's in fierce competition with another boarding school in England called Eton. And it's one of the top schools, top secondary boys boarding schools in the world.
That's what it's like. I think say on all our back before, because he's just 17 years of age. But that doesn't really matter because it's matter that the fact is you are never too old to teach, and that's all to learn. Right? So now go ahead and ask questions. It's okay, they know each other. You know each other, so let me do it. I'm just kidding. But however, you can ask questions now, so it will very answer excellent. Why don't you state your name, the level we did, and equally the questions now. Can you stand up?
I'm Salim Kamara. I'm doing accounting. The question here is, why is CLU having the most affected than the other accounting? Okay. Like we're having 4.4 million like affected malaria. So I want to know why CLU is having this kind of outcome.
Okay.
Yeah, actually, why? The question is, I'm not certain if he may be in the capacity. There are two questions, right? He may not be in the capacity to answer that question because it's just a project.
Our focus is on
this one. But however, your question lies again to it could be the Ministry of Health who will answer that, or the WHO. He's here to educate you on what precipitates malaria and how possibly we can find solutions towards it. Which now we'll talk about the ambulance mosquito or T2 plus one. Understand? So the reason why Sierra Leone is having the most high rates of malaria infections in Sierra Leone, that cannot be clearly giving you a clear definition of it, unless somebody from history gives you an answer to all of that. However, our welding assembly, right? We see how they notice. And must the field also notice area. So now we get the responsibility as it is in our students' name. We give what type of packet and show that you know to wear a seat. I don't see times the number of people inside the victims then they do the 2 and a seat, which is quite unfortunate. We can't be blaming the government, we can't be blaming the people in charge if we the citizens they actually they contribute towards the filthiness of the city. We all get part to play. Yes.
They give haven't obtained permission from the Ministry of Health for that yet. So our ministries, there's office, including the revenues, unavailable resources.
The gentleman. Now, 4 questions, down, but we can find ways. Be audible. Be audible.
My name is Adam Berkailiev. My question is that, if possible, we have a fish. How can we go to protect and feed the fish?
Okay, so let me just answer that.
So if you're listening, you can understand that the fish feeds on mosquitoes. Not to think they feed with any other things. The mosquito they eat. And when the fish they eat the mosquito, they less sin the mosquito than the community want to use. So the fish and mosquito they feed. Exactly. So probably just take one more way, then you can start.
My name is John. My question is, what is the philosophic concept about this fish?
The question is okay.
What is the philosophic and concept of this fish?
You came in late, so that's why you're asking.
If you're listening, you should have understood. It's okay, you can have a seat. You understood the question, right?
He's talking about the philosophy.
Not the philosophy.
Well, the idea behind the fish is to provide a much more affordable and much more accessible method of fighting malaria. Chemical nets and pesticides and other such things are much more expensive and have to be mainly they're used by companies and businesses and stuff like that on a large scale. But these fish basically allow for an eco-friendly, so not harmful to the environment, and very cheap way for everyone to be able to access some way to fight malaria. So that's the philosophical idea that everyone can help fight it through a small, actually it's free, so just helping out with the initiative.
Excellent. So, possibly just one more. There's a president here. Let me please give the response to the president who's on your behalf, please. Yes. Sorry. You said the president. I'm just kidding.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon, everyone. I am Ibrahim Mahmoud Kagwe, a student here at IPAM, studying BSc Project Management here at the Honors. So, first of all, I want to say thank you so much for the volunteerism. As Sierra Leone has been known as the white man graveyard by then in the 19th century and the 18th century. So we have only focused on the cure aspect, and now we are focusing on the preventive aspect, and that's very good. So now my question is volunteerism. How do we volunteer as students for this organization so that we can help sensitize the public about this? Thank you very much.
So to volunteer, that's actually a very noble goal, thank you. To volunteer, you just need to come down to our office on London Beach and basically just inquire there about volunteering. We'll set you up, working, helping, wherever we need you basically. So it's very simple, just come down to our office and ask about volunteering.
Address? Let me go direct to you now. When I went to the beach, when I was like, is it Iyo or Eyo? Eyo. Excellent. When I say there's an estate, where they, if you come over by Aberdeen and about to become, there's an estate to enter, right? Now, it's an estate there, not to the one, not to the Chinese one that you know, the other one there. There's a VIP lounge. Outside my house, exactly. Back of my house. There's an entrance, yeah? Now, don't watch myself. Save Africa from Malaria. I'm not somebody one back. Huh? We need to close. If I may want to volunteer to be part of the campaign, what is the expectation the organization expects from me? Okay, the leading Paito one to answer that question. Thus far, it has been a great session here. Once again, please give a ton of applause for Yes, Mr. Minister, can you approach the podium and speak on behalf of your college students and give a vote of thanks to the speaker, the guest speaker precisely, and the organizers?
On behalf of IPAM students in the government and IPAM students, we want to say thanks to Sammy for this great opportunity.
Can you start all over again?
Come. Go ahead. Fine, voila.
On behalf of IPAM students in the government and my colleague students and the coordinators of this program, I want to say a big thanks to SAFMI organization for providing this privilege and opportunity for us to learn about the prevention, save Africa from malaria infection in partnership with the Anti-Glosopia organization. We really appreciate. Thanks for this great opportunity, and we are yearning for more of this to save Africa from malaria. Thank you all.
So, of course, I was going to say a little bit something about the Anti-Glosopia Academy. If not 70 or 80% here of you are struggling with the fear of public speaking. So, as an institution, we do offer training services to students who wants to be bold and bright with my case. So this is a formal presentation of a set of the fish that will be utilized for the minimization and mitigation of malaria or mosquitoes in this community.
Okay, project students. All the project students?
Yes.
All the project students?
Mahmoud?
Mahmoud? Okay. Bring one. You. Bring one for them. No, you. Maka.
Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Project.
Okay, as a team.
Yes, team.
Alright, Mahmoud, tell me. Okay, this is project management. Opportunity course, suppliers at base level. So on behalf of the said organization, Save Africa from Malaria,
Okay.
present this to class.
Apply accounting.
Apply accounting officer
Yeah, make my bag. Photograph.
on a normal use the chef for make pepper soup. Let it show. Excellent. Thank you so much. Focus. Do you want to make pepper soup?
Okay. Now, auditing.
It's okay. Never pass it on. Come on, the auditing.
Financial.
Next. We are
Financial accounting.
Financial accounting. Okay. What if you
And auditing. Where is financial accounting? No, we have okay, procurement.
auditors? Okay, auditing.
Auditing.
Right. Now, call the man who plays on you only fish. That's excellent. Okay.
We'll provide a proof for you. How much do you carry? Kaka, the guy is saying, no. Huh? How do you get what you buy though? Okay, now we'll call procurement. Procurement.
The last set, right? Procurement.
How's the financial economy? Question and how much? Okay.
Right.
Okay, can we have the brothers? Yes. Yeah, okay. Physical challenge, yes. Financial accounting, I know when I carry the possibility here.
Are you? No, that is no.
Sister, come on. Can we all have a big picture now? From then we'll go for our food. When you collect, you can go. Can we all come?
Yeah.
Let's have guys this there. Some can go to the back.
Go for stay with us, and this stay with us, and this is how we end the live broadcast. Chocha.